So you were where last night? What casino were you in last night?
Caesars in Atlantic City.
Okay.
It was a good time, man.
AC is basically, if you're not on that boardwalk area, you're in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary as shit.
I can see that. I saw a few questionable characters in the casino,
absolutely.
but it's not the worst I've seen before, obviously.
Yeah, around a casino area.
Yeah, that's to be expected.
I think like maybe further down south, like one of those little Mississippi type casinos, I'm sure they have even sketchier areas.
I've seen it, man.
So we are here in Red Bank, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go to Red Bank. At the Count Basie Theater, which is actually pretty nice. Old as shit.
I'm digging the view. Yeah, apparently there's a good amount of history here, and it's a sold out show tonight, so I'm pretty excited to play, man.
Again, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with the other two bands playing.
No, it's all us. We sold it out.
Goddamn right, man. Oh, shit. So, happy first day of football, or technically first weekend of football.
Of course, man. We're all huge NFL followers, so
nice.
Most of the guys are Browns fans, unfortunately.
Okay. And you are?
I'm a Panthers fan.
All right.
And my guitarist is a Buffalo Bills fan, but...
Okay, you're a little all over the place.
A little spread out, but
3
to 5 of us are Browns fans.
So why the Panthers?
I actually lived in Charlotte for about 10 years. So
oh, shit. Okay.
when I really got into football, I started actually going to games, and that's kind of when I started to actually watch every game and really follow a team hardcore.
Yeah.
So before then, I was like a Giants fan, just because I lived in New York for a while. So
okay, where upstate New York?
I grew up in Albany. Yeah.
Okay, Albany. All right.
Yep.
Wow, you weren't a Bills fan.
Nope.
Okay.
The New York Giants practice at the college, like down the street from my house, so you could actually go for free and just watch them practice.
Oh yeah, that's going back a little bit.
I'm not sure if they do that still, but
well, they opened up in the little Giant Stadium area. They opened up a place. I think it's called like the Timex Performance Center, and state of the art. Has an outdoor field, has an indoor field.
Sounds awesome.
Like, do you remember back in the day? Have you ever been to the Giant Stadium area?
Of course.
Yeah. Do you remember the big ass bubble?
Yep.
Yeah. That's no longer there.
That's gone.
That is gone.
That's crazy. I'm definitely out of the loop with the Giants.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. You have your own career going on. You can't just be following the Giants or the Panthers or whoever else.
Although I am betting on the Giants today. We have a little, there's like a tour weekly football pool.
Okay.
So you just pick the winners for every game.
Spreads or no spreads?
No spreads.
Oh, straight up.
And everybody, whoever wins the week gets the whole pot. So
okay.
we do like 4 or 5 weeks of that on this tour, which would be a lot of fun. It's kind of a good way to, mingle with everybody and get to know everybody. And
that, and it's better than the dice games I hear.
Yeah, those are sketchy too.
Oh yeah, those are.
They don't mess with dice.
No.
We're keeping it classy.
The random poker games like you would have on like Warped Tour or like a tour like that.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, man, it does sound like a lot of fun, depending on who you play with. Because I know there's some people in bands that are some degenerate ass gamblers.
Yes, and our tour manager is a shyster. He's I would never want to play him in poker. So
oh no.
He's good.
Oh, he's good. Okay.
Yeah,
he's not a cheater.
He doesn't cheat, but he's got a good poker face, and I don't.
I mean, it's kind of hard to cheat at poker these days.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, what are you going to do? Look at the cards?
I guess you could have a few aces in your pocket.
That too, or you could have the little mirror underneath the table and
There's that. There's also that.
Yeah.
There's a few tricks.
There are a lot of tricks there. So you were, what, a month in on this tour?
Not really. I think this is our 11th show of the tour, so we had a 2-week break. We did some songwriting, and then I want to say we started probably about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
A little over 2 weeks, and this is our longest tour to date because we're going to be out until mid-December. When we finish up with 3 Doors Down, we go straight to the West Coast with Seven Dust.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then we fly straight out to Paris, France, and start our first European tour.
First European tour. Is it a headliner or are you opening for something?
We're opening for Skillet on that
tour.
tour.
My gosh, Jesus.
They're kick-ass, man. We got to meet them at a festival a few weeks ago. And super nice.
Wow.
Great people, and we're just excited to be overseas, of course. None of us have even visited over,
Really? Wow.
We haven't been over the pond, so it's going to be our first time as a band and as tourists as well. So
nice. What's the reception been like for this tour so far?
For this tour, the 3 Doors Down tour?
Yeah.
It's been great, man. It's been a little different because it's, all the venues are theaters. Mm-hmm. And we're used to more of the sweaty, sold out, crazy club shows where everybody's not moshing, but everybody's, on top of each other. And so it's a little more chill. Uh-huh. So that's been an adjustment, but it's awesome to play these beautiful theaters. There's a lot of historic theaters, and sounds amazing, and state of the art sound every night.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Which you would think, like, they would have the theaters, but they promote you playing in theater, and they don't like update the sound or anything, give that little vintage thing, vintage look, vintage sound, but...
Yeah, I'm glad it doesn't sound too vintage. You don't want it to be outdated PA system.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
But
I'm sure you played a few places with that.
We've played some questionable venues, trust me. Especially back in the old days.
God, and you've been around for what, like 10 years now, right?
Yeah, the band, I mean, I've only been around for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Mike and Ryan founded the band, I think in 2007. So there's been various lineup changes like every band has. Especially as things get more serious, it's hard to find people that are 100% committed and willing to give up everything to pursue this. But
and now, have you given up everything, or do you have a side job or anything?
No, man, I'm all in. We're all.
God,
we don't have we're gone too. I mean, we're gone too much. I feel like we probably toured. When all is said and done, we probably would have toured 9 or 10 months out of this year, out of 12. So it's our full-time job.
Wow,
it's been a lot of fun, but it's. I'm learning now that we're touring this much how much work it actually is. And it used to all be great, like everything's fun. This is amazing, and now you start to learn that there's certain things about touring that kind of suck.
Like what, for example?
Just lack of sleep, lack of privacy. Thankfully, on this tour, catering has been amazing, so I've been eating healthy. But it's hard to be away from family and friends, and kind of get disconnected from people in a lot of ways when our hours are crazy. Everybody wants to talk during the day, and we're busy all day and up till 3 a.m. every night. So, but it's definitely a lifestyle adjustment, but we love it. There's certain days like, man, I would just like today, this first weekend of football, I would love to be on my couch with some chicken wings and whatever else I can throw
Got
together.
the red zone on.
I literally want to watch football all day today, so I might get my iPad. I have an iPad on stage and we'll get a game going while the show's going on.
I mean, you know these songs like fucking like the back of your head.
Yeah, exactly. If my head's turned, that's why.
I will definitely be looking for that.
Sweet, man.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that touring is just, we're sleeping all day, partying all night, but like it is a business at the end of the day, and a lot of people don't realize that.
You can't do that, and you learn the hard way quickly that you'll get burned out pretty fast too. I mean, I get burnt out even if you don't drink or if you're super healthy, it's still an exhausting lifestyle.
It is.
So.
What do you sleep like? Maybe like 2 or 3 hours a night, and then you just have to keep doing it over and over again?
I'd say it's an average of 5 hours.
Okay.
I haven't gotten 8 hours in a while, but I'm kind of learned to function on 5 or 6 hours of sleep and feel pretty normal. It's all about tricking your brain. Like, if you think about how tired you are, you're going to be more tired. But if you just suck it up and go with the flow.
That's a good way to think about things. Especially like when you have like the time changes, especially you going out west with Seven Dust, that's going to fuck up
the sleep
pattern. And then, another basically 8 hours ahead, I believe, for France.
Something crazy. Yeah, we also do Russia too. We have like 8 shows in Russia.
Oh my god.
This is going to be...
With Skillet as well, or?
Yep. We go to just 9 or 10 countries we're going through.
Wow.
Germany, Norway, Russia, Czech Republic. There's a whole bunch of them. So.
Wow. Any of them sticking out? You're like, oh my god, I can't believe we're going to this place. Or?
I think Russia gives me that feeling the most, especially because we talk to bands that have toured overseas many times. Like I've never been to Russia. Like a lot of these people, it's not a common stop for bands to go through. And obviously, Skillet has something going on in that area. I mean, all the biggest shows and the biggest venues are all in Russia. Like we're playing like a 6,000 capacity arena in Moscow. Like so, all the big shows are within that time frame.
But that's the thing with these overseas bands; they come out for their favorite acts. It's not like in the U.S. where like, you know what?
Yep.
Football's on today. I'm not gonna come out next time they come over.
Nobody flakes out there. That's what I heard.
Exactly.
That's a big, we're already getting people tagging us in photos and getting messages. I can't wait to see you in Russia. Like, just people are just already doing their homework and I'm sure they obviously know Skillet already, but they're actually clearly they're looking up our band and listening to our music and doing their homework, which is nice, because a lot of people don't do that. So
that's crazy. Like if you think about maybe 10 years ago, where you basically had MySpace, and like you really weren't that connected out, overseas.
Not
and
at
you
all.
just you had to pray you were on a good label. You had to pray that a bigger band would take you over. But now, I mean, like if you're a YouTube phenomenon, you could basically sell out that same theater or arena in Russia that you're playing.
Sure, you never know. It happens, man.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Especially just like going with those YouTube acts, where you're like, going back 10 years ago, like YouTube was fairly new.
Yeah.
You didn't really have those, you didn't have, I don't even know exactly what you would call them. I guess YouTubers?
Yeah, there weren't any viral, like, I don't even know the word that I'm thinking of right now. But yeah.
Yeah, there weren't any, like, viral videos or really anything.
Nobody was getting famous or getting noticed off YouTube at the start, but now, I mean, you see some of these videos get 1 billion views.
Yeah.
50 million.
And the funniest part, YouTube is still in the red as a company.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I think it's a couple $1 million in the red.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's basically the only competition in town. Then you have to have, like, all the servers and shit like that.
Yeah, to have to hold all that content.
Yeah. And you have to make it easy as shit for someone to press one button and have everything uploaded.
Yeah, it's got to be quick.
Yeah. Because, like, what's the average attention span now? Like 8 seconds or something like that? I mean, at a show, you might get away with a song or two, but, if you don't captivate that audience within your first 2 tracks...
You have to, man.
Yeah. How many songs you playing on this tour?
It's a 30-minute set, so I think it's 6 or 7 songs.
Okay, that's a good amount.
Yep. Every once in a while, whenever Pop Evil isn't on a show, there's been a couple shows that it's just us and 3 Doors now.
Yeah.
We'll get a 45-minute set of that.
Oh, wow.
And add 2 or 3 more songs, but...
So what do you like as a drummer? Do you like the 30-minute tracks more than the 45-minute shows, or?
I prefer a longer show because it takes you a couple songs to really feel comfortable on stage and get into it and get used to the way the room sounds, and once you really start vibing and gelling, it's already the show's over. So 45 minutes to an hour is like my ideal set length. But
wow, hey dude,
yeah,
why not, man?
But there's something fun about coming out and smashing a 30-minute set and just giving it all you got, and knocking them dead.
Hey, and I'm guessing you're a band that does it night after night.
We try our best, man.
You don't fucking like dial it in or anything.
What do you mean by dial it in? We definitely dial it in.
What? No, not dialed in. I'm talking dial it in. Basically saying, okay, we're playing the show, yeah, okay, yeah, we're done, goodbye.
Yeah, we're definitely not on autopilot.
Yes.
You see a lot of bands that are on autopilot.
Yeah. And it's pretty crazy to see that, too. Mm-hmm. Like, you look at a band, like, for example, what's a good band that's... I don't want to say, like, goes through the motions and burn a lot of bridges here.
Yeah.
But, like, you see, like, a headlining set where people are paying, like, $100 to $200 just to come out, and, it's the same exact things. They know the exact same choreography.
Yep.
Like, it's big in the pop world, but...
Well, I think that's one thing I learned is the general public doesn't usually pick up on that stuff a lot of the time. Like, now that I've been touring with a lot of my favorite bands and have done all these support tours, you'll see that there's a lot of things that happen night after night. The same, the vocalist will say the same thing to the crowd at the same section. And some bands are insane with it. When I saw Puddle of Mud a few years ago, one of the stage techs knew when to light a cigarette so the singer could come over and take a hit of the cigarette. Like, he would literally, real quick.
Wow.
Like, not even after the song, there'd be a part of the song where it'd be an instrumental break, and the singer would come over and take a few puffs and come back.
Holy shit.
So everything's choreographed, but we try to keep it natural, and every show's a little bit different.
Yeah. Hey.
Try to keep it fun.
You do, and plus it's usually the 6-7 songs, like the same ones over and over again too.
Yeah, we don't really change the set up much, but yeah, it's pretty much the same set every night.
Does that ever get boring to you, or?
No, not really. It's kind of fun to really lock in those 6 songs and play them really well. And after you play those songs every night for, we've been touring this album for a year and a half or so. And it's just fun to be able to play that effectively and just feel that good about your playing.
Yeah. And that album is Polyester Zeal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I read it was number 7 on the Heat Seekers on Billboard charts.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I think it was number 7. You were also, I think, 141 on the top 200.
I'll take that.
Just pretty good. I mean, you're in the same ranks as like Rihanna or like, maybe 3 Doors Down. Fuck
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. How's the reception been so far for that album? Like, a lot of people have been
amazing, man. It keeps growing, and it's kind of the point now where people sing. My singer Mike will throw the vocal or throw the mic out in the crowd, and people sing. They sing the words back.
Wow.
Which is still new to us, and it's getting louder and louder, and people are picking up on it, and it's nice to see all the work that we're doing, touring out there on the road. It's paying off.
Yeah.
People are responding, and it's exciting for us. We feed off that energy, and it keeps us going.
It's got to be still a surreal feeling. Like, you remember writing these songs, you're like, maybe this one, maybe it'll be doing good. And the next thing you know, it's like your number one hit, you know?
You never know. And that's kind of what happened with the other side. That was our first single, and they just wanted to test the waters and just throw it out there. That wasn't, in their opinion, the strongest song, the strongest single. And they just wanted to put that out there, and it actually went to number one. It just wasn't expected at all.
It's basically, it goes back to that saying where the people that want to be famous do nothing, and the people that, you know, do want fame somehow and try so hard to get famous get nowhere.
Yeah, of course. I think there's something to be said about being authentic and just being yourself, and that's, you know, before I joined this band, the way that I actually met these guys, my old man was touring through Ohio, and we met them. Mike and Ryan were working at Guitar Center in Akron, Ohio, and we met them and ended up doing some show trades and stuff. And the one thing, you know, that I learned from Red Sun Rising was like the band that I was in at the time was always trying to change our sound. Like, let's try this now. This, you know, we should go this direction, go this direction. And Red Sun Rising has always had, as long as I've known those guys, and you can go back to their albums from 6 years ago, the independent records, the sound, I mean, it changes a little bit, but it's always been them. Like, they've always had that dialed in and not try to be somebody you're not, just to climb the charts or to get signed or to get noticed. Like, I think there's just being authentic is the way to go. And if there's anything I could advise unsigned bands to do, it'd be to find that instead of trying to always do something or do the same thing that everybody does.
Yeah.
Dress differently, you know, make your music original, mix it up a little bit, take risks.
Yeah. What do you think about bands that have like certain gimmicks where they're like, you know, one album would be like extremely heavy metal, the next thing you know it's like alternative rock, and like a band like maybe Bring Me the Horizon. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they went from like deathcore to, you know, alternative rock in the matter of like 3 albums.
Yeah, and that's because they're making more money and they're reaching a broader audience. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, I can see how bands do that, and even bands like you look at Shinedown, like their music has gotten more and more alternative and more like Imagine Dragons, I would say, like, whereas their first record was a slammer. So I mean, that does happen, but when I think of gimmicks, I think of, you know, bands that like dress up and wear makeup or
like Kiss and
and you know, when it's tastefully done, I like that. There's actually a band that's on our management called Avatar.
I know Avatar, yeah.
Yep, and they have the whole, you know, face paint and all, and the costumes, and they really pull it off. It's like a freak show carnival theme, and
yeah, especially the lead singer looks exactly like a room.
Oh yeah, so I dig that, but there's some bands that are over the top with it or cheesy, but fans eat it up, and I guess the most important thing is, you know, are the fans digesting it?
Yeah, but you could tell like bands that have longevity and bands that don't.
Right away. Yeah, for sure, man.
So, let's see, you're on the tour with Seven Dust coming up. You're on this tour right now. Mm-hmm. Do you remember any shows, like maybe in the past, that you're like, oh God, like it sticks out for you, like being memorable, but in like a bad way?
In a bad way?
Because a lot of people ask, like, yeah, you remember your best show of the tour? Yeah, I remember it was back in Detroit, and, you know, we rocked the stage, and some girl showed me her tits, and...
I'm trying to think of some rough shows. I mean, I know we've had them. We've never really had a disastrous show, knock on wood. But
until Red Bank, New Jersey.
Yeah, until Red Bank, New Jersey. So yeah, nothing really. I mean, there was one time, you know, we have these custom-built stage risers now. Like I have a drum riser, and most bands have stairs for theirs, and we don't have that luxury. So there's been a few nights that I would jump back on. I mean, it's probably about this high. It's pretty high. It's probably 4 feet in the air, 3 feet in the air. And there's been a couple times that I got close to missing it or almost falling off. And I know that my guitarist, Ryan, has face planted on the riser one.
Oh, my God.
At some point. And he had to walk off stage and change guitars out because he fell on his guitar, went out of tune. So, man, I really can't think of any, like, stories that would be good that are disastrous and funny. Like,
no one threw, like, a beer on stage or...
we had a fan throw a nice cold... unopened beer to Mike on stage.
Okay, that's positive.
Which was a nice gesture, and I wouldn't consider that a nightmare. I think that was a nice move.
It's actually more memorable.
Yeah. He didn't throw me one, but...
Bastards. Maybe you couldn't reach. See, you're far in the back.
Yeah. His range.
You might be in the mezzanine. Like.
Yeah, you never know.
You know, he's not Cam Newton over here.
No. Nice.
Say a little callback.
Yeah, got to bring the NFL into it. I think we're doing a podcast with ESPN on Thursday too.
Holy shit! Wow, that's awesome.
I don't really know what the deal with that is, but we'll be talking football.
Nice, man. Into it. Nice. Are they playing your music on like SportsCenter or anything?
No, we don't have any placements on ESPN yet, but hopefully this will open up some doors just to go in there and meet the guys, and that's something that we'd all love to see.
So you're actually going up to Bristol?
Yeah, actually we are. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not New York City.
Actually, Connecticut, which is, I think Bristol might be like 45 minutes from New York City. But
cool. Close enough.
In the middle of nowhere.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Well, I mean, if you honestly think about it, it's like you have a sports mecca.
Yeah.
It's usually not in a popular area.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter where it's at.
Yeah, just like Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Out in the middle of nowhere. Cooperstown, out in the middle of nowhere.
Sure is. Save money.
Springfield,
too.
Massachusetts for the Basketball Hall of Fame, out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
It makes sense.
It does, but you don't want to be with other touristy attractions, because look, if ESPN they did have something called ESPN Zone. I don't know if you remember this one.
I don't.
But it was like a sports bar hangout place, like owned by ESPN. It was right in the center of Times Square.
Nice.
So it was touristy as it comes.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably gets annoying.
Same thing with WWE, which was WWF at the time. They had a little fan zone area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You a wrestling fan?
No, I mean, when I was a kid, I obviously watched it, like back when The Undertaker and Mankind and those guys were big.
Yeah.
And I've been to a couple, I don't even know what you call it, a wrestling match.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple matches,
Events,
like WWE, when I was younger. But I haven't kept up in a while. Is that actually still a thing?
Still a thing.
Actually, you know what? At some of the festivals that we played this year, they had the NXT thing.
Yeah.
So they had the live wrestling. It was pretty cool. So that's my latest wrestling experience with.
Which is good
wrestling.
because a lot of wrestling fans consider NXT to be better than the main product.
Yeah, I don't know much about what's different about it. But.
So basically, NXT is like the minor leagues. Like if you have like Raw and SmackDown or like the major league areas,
sure.
NXT is like the minor league.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah. It only took them God knows how many years to actually come up with it, but
hey
whatever
works.
Yeah. So, anyways, you've played a few festivals. Which ones have you played? Did you play Rock on the Range?
Yep, we did all. Rock on the Range is Danny Wimmer does those. It's a company called DWP.
Okay.
He does. There's like 17 of those festivals. So we did.
Oh, is that the loudest month thing?
Yep, is it the world's loudest one? Or
something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, we did almost every single one of those festivals.
Wow.
So we did at least 13 or 14.
Jesus.
So we had a pretty hectic. I guess it was the spring. I don't know. Whenever that was. But they don't usually repeat bands, so we're not going to do them next year. But hopefully the following year we'll get back in that circuit again. That was a lot of fun, and some of those crowds were massive, man.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Rock on the Range was our biggest crowd to date. So.
Wow. Were you on the main stage or like a little side stage?
We weren't. We were on the. There's a stage outside of the grounds. So it was like the second main stage. There's like 4 stages, but we had an amazing crowd out there, and from what I heard, most bands don't have that crowd out, like outside of the main stage area, especially being from Ohio.
The hometown show. Yeah,
a lot of buzz in Ohio, so I think that helped. But we had a slam packed, probably 20 or 30,000 people. People were crowd surfing. It was insane, man. Yeah,
you're not the only one who told me that. I'm friends with his name is Andy. He's the lead singer of a band called Danger Kids.
Nice.
Out in Ohio. He played Rock on the Range, I want to say 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
He said it was just like a sea of people. Like he imagined it to be like Guns N' Roses playing like Mexico, and there's like 105,000 people there.
It was comical, man. It reminded me of like an old school Pearl Jam concert. Like I was looking out and I was distracted by the number of crowd surfers.
Oh my god.
So once a few people started doing it, it just caught on and everybody just went nuts.
So it's always those certain couple people that have to start the pit for everyone.
Somebody's got to start it, yeah.
But there's a lot of leaders and a lot of followers, even with crowds.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely, man.
But anyways, let's see. We're 25 minutes in.
Cool.
I think we can wrap this up.
Yeah,
I know you got a huge show coming up tonight.
Yep, got to get the hands warmed up. I got my practice pad over here. And
that's awesome, man.
Usually give that about half an hour, and actually there's some NFL on downstairs in the catering area, so I'm going to go watch some football.
Probably Giants, Cowboys.
Probably, yep. I need the Giants today.
Yep, that's true.
For my weekly football pool with these guys, which I'm going to lose this week, but...
Hey.
Doing my best.
There's always next week.
There's always next week.
Look, this is week 1 of what, 17?
Yeah, but we're only with these guys for another 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so I got to take their money while I can.
That's true.
I need to at least win once. So see what happens.
Best of luck with
Thanks,
you on
man.
that. Do you have any plugs? I guess Facebook, Twitter, Polyester Zeal. Get it on iTunes.
You got it. All I got to do is search Wrestling Rising. We're everywhere. And if you're listening, come see us at a show. We're doing almost the entire U.S. on this tour. So
Yep. You got the East Coast going on with Three Doors Down, with Pop Evil. Then you head out west with Seven Dust.
got some
few
Texas
other bands.
dates and stuff like that too on the way out to the West Coast. So
And then overseas, we do have an audience overseas. So
sure, that's great. Hope to see you guys out there. And it's great to meet you, man.
Awesome.
Thanks
Great to
for
meet you
having
too. We usually end with a song by the band I'm interviewing. What song do you want me to play?
Let's check out. You know what? Our current single is Amnesia. Let's throw that out there.
Amnesia?
Amnesia.
Okay, there we go. Amnesia coming at you.
Enjoy.
All right. Thanks.